Hey, what's up? This is Jeremy from founder of QuickMail.io. I don't know, like weird start.
Is everything okay? Yeah. Hey, this is Jack, Chief Lead Generation Officer at salesbread.com. Today we've got a
Hold on. Growth
chat.
Yeah.
Growth chat.
That's the one.
We will get the timing one of these days. That's right. We're going to pick a random product company today, and we're going to help them build an outbound campaign in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So on Product Hunt, right? So we don't know what we're going to end up with. It's going to be random company on Product Hunt, and we're going to say like, right, if we're the founder of this company, what would we do next? So sounds like fun. Why
That's
not?
exactly right. Yeah, and it should be a bit more exciting today because we have no preparation for this. It's going to be completely random. So
totally lazy from us.
It is, but then again, hopefully the process that goes into planning it is also worth discussing. And just before we dive in, a quick word from our sponsors. Jeremy, I'll kick things off. Today, most B2B companies lack either the time or expertise to turn those strangers into warm sales leads. So at salesbread.com, we'll bring you one qualified lead per day by sending ultra-personalized cold emails and LinkedIn messages. If you're interested about having the pros do it for you so that you don't have to prospect anymore, and instead focus on the bottom of the funnel, head over to salesbread.com/contact and get in touch.
So sleek, I'm sold.
Smooth. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I should write down my lines, but basically check out QuickMail.io. It's an awesome tool when you want to do cold outreach, especially by email. We're really good with deliverability. In fact, you have the auto warmer for free. You should use it. And I got the logo sponsored today right here. So
love it.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Done.
Okay, so Jeremy, well said. QuickMail rocks. Let's go ahead and do some screen sharing. We are going to find our product to create some outbound campaigns for. Okay, so let's head over to a screen share view. Jeremy, let's make some money. Do you see my screen?
I do. Okay.
Okay, so what do we have? Topics. We have topics, and then once we click a topic, we're going to see tools within that topic. So randomize. Jeremy, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, API. All right, fun.
All right.
So within the topic of API, here's a bunch of tools. Stop. Which one are we going to cover? Stop. Third web, build Web3 apps and games easily.
Nice.
Okay.
Fun. Oh,
Jeremy, you've built
just above.
Oh, that would have been cool too. So let's pull up their homepage. And what's step one?
Holy hell. Well, to understand what it is about, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Apps easily.
100%. So let's understand what it's about. What do we got here?
I know already what I'm going to do. I know what campaign I want to launch. Look, it's about like digitalization of companies, brick and mortar, lots of digitalization coming. Right. Hey, do you want to do the same wave may happen to current digital companies to move to Web3. So I would probably have to reach out to some companies that maybe are on the forefront, or maybe, I'll probably obviously this is a B2B. I'm not going to contact potential developers. I'm not going to have the money. So
that's interesting. But by the way, Jeremy, you'll have to help me. I have no idea what Web3 is.
It's just basically, it's a whole crypto stuff. So basically it's on blockchain. So Web3 means basically an app on a blockchain, like on Ethereum or stuff like that. Like you see, DAO is a very typical word for, but NFT and so on, which it's just like an app living on the chain. And so basically you could say like NFT, we could look into NFTs as well. So it could be like, we may want to contact maybe some museums. Actually, I don't know if that would be a good use case. I'm not sure who their customers are. This is tricky from the outside, honestly. Like, I don't know who's bringing money to them.
Right. Okay. So what if we looked at pricing here?
Ooh, that's
so it's free to use.
Man, there's no point in doing cold outreach if it's free.
Okay, hold on. Let's see here, Jeremy. So is this right that you have to be a company that works with blockchain in order to use this? Is that right?
Pay blockchain specific guys. No, it not necessarily means that. Okay, let me look. Free to use. We take 0 fees on any smart contract deployed. Okay, we keep You keep 100% of the money you make. Okay, we gain access. Okay, so basically this is a dev shop. This is basically a dev shop, and that's how I see it. It's a development company that will develop stuff for you on a blockchain. Right. And once you got your blockchain, they basically tell you that's fine, it's free, you can use it. That's how I see that.
Okay, cool. So what we've been doing so far is figuring out our who. Who is their end user? And so in order to do that, because this is so foreign, at least to me, it's taken a little bit of breaking down, because
my bad.
I was hoping they'd have some, I was hoping they'd have some like testimonials from happy users that we could, we could just find more people like that.
Of course not. It's on Product Hunt.
Fair enough.
It's just developers putting their app there and hoping that people will come and buy it.
Okay,
so hopefully we got cold outreach, which means you're going to reach out to your potential future clients. You're going to make them pay. So how would you do that? It's a dev shop, on the next future generation. It's basically how it is.
So then they're a dev shop that helps you make
or
apps
platform
for Web3,
or maybe that they are selling a platform for you to develop on to get to then deploy to the blockchain.
Cool. So then why don't we find like developers that are working with Web3, and then are we done?
Can you click on developer at the top? There is mentioned developers here.
Right here.
Powerful SDK for all units. Yeah, exactly. So basically they're providing user robust SDK to take things into your own hands, easily implement Web3 direction. Yeah, they're basically providing a framework to implement quickly and easily application on a blockchain, right?
Okay. So then is our audience, what would it be, like Web3 developers?
Well, yeah, this is tricky. It is most likely. Let's say, for example, your company is saying, we need to move on a blockchain, which is unlikely to be said. But then they will task their developer, and the developer will say, well, it takes a long time to develop an application and build it on a blockchain. So therefore, they will use some existing SDK, which is software development kits. And that's basically what they will do. And so they will do their due diligence and then probably purchase this SDK. That's my understanding. Maybe completely off, but seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, luckily, we don't have to be spot on anyways, because we can work within this idea and we'll still have like a campaign at the end of it, even if it's slightly not on track here. So are we getting closer here? We have blockchain companies. Maybe this is potential end users.
It's difficult because usually blockchain company will have created their own sort of technology. So it's unlikely. I would say this is more for companies who want to expand into blockchain. Right.
Okay, let's stop right there. So we have, should we have a note? Like, should we keep notes, like write anything down for this session, Jeremy, or just talk through it?
Yeah, let's talk through it for now. Let's see if we can keep track.
Okay, so then I'll go ahead and stop sharing for the moment, but I think what we have is a service that's going to help companies that want to do blockchain development, that want to.
Correct.
Okay, so we've got our who. Okay.
Well, I don't know who to contact in the company as well. Like, is there point of entry developers? Is there point of entry product managers?
I would say it's
CEO as in strategy, or I don't know. It's tricky.
Okay, and what would help you decide that? If you want, I can pull the website back up.
No, it's fine. It just depends on what's the strategy. Like, who's making the decision for going to that? Like, where do we actually plug in the sales cycle? Do we plug in the strategical level? Like, people wants to go into blockchain, and so we say like, hey, we can easily help you to afford blockchain development by just using your SDK.
Right.
And so in this case, you look at the executive level, people who actually look into is this an avenue for us for growth? Or do you look and plug into developer one that say, okay, you've been tasked for developing those sort of things. Here's an easy way to develop it faster. Either way, it's still tricky.
I have sort of a hybrid, Jeremy. I would go technology leadership. They've got spending power CTO, and they understand. There you go. So I would say CTO or VP technology would be great for this campaign.
Perfect.
Right. And if you're listening and you're building something very technical that, maybe only only developers would really get or get excited about, try going to that, I would say, technology role with purchasing power first. That's kind of a sweet spot. You may find it's hard to get a CEO to care. You may find that it's hard to get a champion that's only like a junior developer to make a sale. This is kind of a cool place. So let's work with that, Jeremy. It sounds like you're on board. Now, the next step is to figure out what kind of companies make sense to reach this out to, because obviously any CTO is not going to care about this. How do we figure out which companies are either already interested in blockchain development or they're probably looking into it? One like low-hanging fruit, we could look at, is there a company that does not have a blockchain developer, but they're hiring for one right now?
Ooh, I love it. This is really a great idea. They don't have any logo on their website, do they? Because then in this case, we could look at the type of company they're already contacting. Or
100%. Yeah, I could share my screen again, Jeremy, but the only logos they have are the third, they're kind of the, they call them third web, supports a multi-chain ecosystem of blockchains, Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, whatever. Like,
okay, so basically just different blockchain they support.
Who they play nicely with.
Actually, yes, exactly. Nothing to do with the actual buyers.
That's right. They may be super new. So let's say like segment one could be companies hiring their first blockchain employee.
I really love that. This is a great idea. A great way of saying it.
First blockchain.
Actually, now, signal an intention to do that, or at least it's worth a chat.
An intention and a budget.
That's right.
Which is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, because they may, since they're their first one, they may be, tiptoeing into this industry. And so therefore, if you provide them with a way of saving costs, to just get the concept on a prototype going, I think it's not a bad angle, actually.
Or it may even, if you can position it this way, it may even replace the need to bring on that strictly blockchain developer, right? Maybe their existing dev team can use this to get it done.
Idea.
Right?
Yeah, I have another idea, other angle. I will. You could potentially target consultants who actually go and develop those things, because then in this case, they will sort of like make their job easier, can charge more, company develop faster. That's another way to pitch, but it's a bit.
Hold on, blockchain harder. Consultants.
Yeah, like the one who actually you would hire to just come and build. It's like a mobile dev. Like you're gonna say like, hey, for my company, I just need like a quick mobile app, and they don't really care what technology you're gonna use, but the developer will care, and they will say like, oh yeah, in your dev shop, so you will probably like contact agencies, dev agencies, right, and that are specialized into doing this, and then just that's cool. Sell them your technology.
Okay, so I think we can kind of stop. Why? Because we have two segments that have two things going for them. They're very different, and they have these indicators that we can see helps us figure out, yeah, they're probably going to want to talk to this company.
That'd be cool. I think I'll do actually two campaigns, especially when I start. There's no harm in doing that. I think it's much better to figure out which one is going to bring traction. Right. So I will definitely do a campaign for those companies, and I will do campaigns for both type of companies. And
super cool.
Which one is actually working best.
So I think we have our list. So we're going to go number one, companies hiring their first blockchain employee, and go after the CTO or VP of technology.
Yeah.
And that, or maybe VP engineering, whatever, like senior technical. And then the second segment has a different job title that we're going to target, probably the founder of a blockchain development agency. Is that right?
Either the founder or their CTO, because they could also have like a CTO as well.
That's true.
In that,
that's true.
In that company.
But how many blockchain or how many dev shops were started by a non-technical?
Well, look at that. For example, for agency on QuickMail, some agency are doing maybe Facebook ad, and then they want to expand into providing the service of cold email. Right. And then easily and naturally, they will go and grab QuickMail because it makes sense. We're built for agency and stuff like that. Right. Maybe the same play for you and a dev shop, and you could actually just reach out to Fig and say, are you planning on proposing Web3 development to your clients, or adding this as a service, potential service, because we actually help developing 6 times faster, whatever. using our sort of platform makes a breeze to actually provide this service. And so you can charge a premium because company, whatever, right? So that's also,
you just wrote the first email. You did.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Are you planning on adding this as a service? Because we actually make it easier, faster, cheaper, and you can use this to add a premium. Should we have a conversation, or is this
on your radar for 2022?
There you go. Is
right
on your radar. Okay. I love that. And that's probably going to be for the agency segment. Right? Yep. Okay. And then what would we say to, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, Jeremy. I want to get the page back up here so we can extract a couple selling points here to include. It sounds like their copywriter thinks that ease is the best selling point here. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame that as a personal rant, it's a shame that the blockchain stuff makes everything so complicated in terms of terminology and haven't figured out a way to dumb it down for people to really see the value. So they're all talking about like technology.
But they don't want to. They don't want to. They like how they like.
Yeah.
Good point. Well, when it gets even more mainstream, they'll have to tackle that. Absolutely. But right now, the bleeding edge probably appreciates the barrier to entry.
Could be. Depends who you're talking to.
Yeah. Okay. So
honestly, I would put something like, add an extra revenue to your company or stuff like that. Like things that have nothing to do with like text technology and this, type of thing.
Perfect. So all I'm doing here, I'm just, for the sake of the growth chat, it's we're not going to build out an entire campaign, but let's grab two selling points here. So add a new revenue stream.
You could say a lot of support. Like support 98% of all the blockchains here or something like that, right? Maybe you could say the 20 biggest blockchains or something like that, potentially.
Okay.
Like Ethereum, Avalanche, and all those sort of things that he was mentioning.
Okay. And then we could, and that actually may be, I don't know if it's social proof. I don't know if you have to partner.
But it's a bit like you develop your application once, for example, on React, and then you suddenly can export to mobile app or to desktop, right? So it's like faster development for cross-platform type of thing. I know.
I'm laughing because I'm so happy you're on the other end of this conversation here. Because the whole half hour starting this conversation, this podcast would have been me trying to understand what a Web3. Yeah, you kind of have to do your homework in order to build campaigns. Surprise, surprise. But Jeremy has thankfully shortcutted that for me. So we've got three benefits: add a revenue stream, support, what was it, like 90% of blockchain or the 20 biggest blockchain things. And then we'll grab the third one. It's build Web3 apps easily. So now we've kind of got what we're going to
say shortcut your development time. Right, I would think
speed up.
More, something like that for a CFO or CTO.
Probably. Thing. Okay, yeah. So I may even replace build easily with build faster.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cut dev time or whatever.
Absolutely. By
dev
X,
costs
time.
Cool. By X. So now we got our three benefits. I would like to find ways to back it up. So like 3 social proofs, 3 credibility boosters. It'd be great if there was a
number 1 on Product Hunt.
Sure. Why not?
Kidding.
What?
It's like
no, I think they
but
they
it
got
doesn't
something
mean anything business wise. Like something. Who cares? They are number 1 on Product Hunt.
A lot of
it's vanity stuff. It's like winning the Oscar doesn't make you a good movie. It's the same sort of thing.
Let me ask you, Jeremy, is it true that there's not a single social proof element involved in the website? Yeah. So as a copywriter, you're kind of stuck. You can't like create things out of thin air. It's your job to see everything and distill.
They may not have a client at all at this stage, right? It could be just a landing page.
Let's work with that. Even if they don't have a paying client, I'm sure that they have use the tool or the platform internally to do something. We took this and we're able to build out a app in 2 days.
2 weeks.
I would say that. right? I mean, social proof. Okay, this is what we were able to do with it. If they have nothing going on from a business standpoint, if it's so new, nobody's heard of it, this is what we've done. Okay. I've also, so we kind of have a mini case study. I would also grab something that you've hinted at. You're like, it builds faster by 20%. What's that percent? That's a concrete number that we should be able to use to.
Days is good. So you should say like, get your app up and running under 1 week, right? Okay. Under 48 hours, whatever kind of thing. I think those are really good because then suddenly, ooh, I can have an app tomorrow. Or I can have an app next week. I think this is a sort of thing that could help.
Now we're talking. So then the last thing we need for this growth chat, Jeremy, is 2 calls to actions that we want to try. We've already have, is this on your radar for 2022?
Yeah, right? Love it.
Okay. And then
is it worth a chat, or is it worth exploring further? It's kind of like generic, right? I'm not sure. What do you think of that type of?
I'm curious, like this is interesting. I think
that's a follow-up, isn't it?
No doubt, but like, I don't know. I'm trying to see if a call to action can actually use these. Like, if you're able to keep 100% of the money made, would it be worth, a conversation on app build or something? Like, maybe I'm getting too fancy here at this point.
I think it's honestly something like plus, you'll get plus, you won't have to pay us any royalties. That's basically what they're saying, right? In proper.
Okay. And there's the follow-up.
Business.
There's the follow-up. Mm-hmm. Okay. So say,
really
in case it helps.
All right. Let's build a follow-up then.
Have to pay any royalty fees. Okay. Should we recap on what we've got so far?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So 2 segments. Segment 1, companies that are hiring their first blockchain employee. And we're going after their CTO. And we're going to say, we've got, in case you're hiring for someone that can do blockchain development internally, this app will allow you to build faster, cut dev time, even if you don't have a blockchain developer. We used it in order to get an app up and running in under 48 hours. Is this on your radar for 2022? Or is it a platform like this worth a conversation?
It is not a bad idea to actually, I love the idea because it's so hard to hire. You could effectively position it, not by saying like, hey, I saw you're hiring for, this is so annoying. I think this is overused, but what you can positioning is like, hey, we are having, that stuff that don't require a Web3 developer to actually be able to build those apps. And so therefore it's like, oh, I can get it done even though I may not succeed in hiring those developers, right? So that could be a good play. That could be a good play, right? Okay. That's probably what I would do. I'll try.
And so we have our next segment, which is blockchain development agencies. We'd be reaching out to either the founder or again, technology leadership that has a purchase decision. And we're going to say, are you planning on building Web3 apps as a service? Because we actually created a platform that lets you build apps in under 48 hours without having to pay a royalty. I don't know. Is it?
That's good. That's a good idea.
Right.
Paid apps.
I always like to state the exception, what people may think as a catch, like this is a cost prohibitive.
Well, that could be your PS, right? PS, we don't, we don't charge anything beyond the platform itself, the use of the platform or something like that, right?
What do you think of this as a call to action, Jeremy? Do you want to see our docs to see if this is worth looking into further?
Yeah, or video, that could be good too. Like, do you want to see like a 5 minutes video on how to actually do it to see if, you know, your developer will find it helpful, something like that.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
And then you have like your whole sort of like mini demos just for developers and something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can put the call to action when you're actually sending the video link.
And then, like we mentioned, a couple follow-ups here would be mentioning probably stuff on the third web, like who they support, 90% of the ecosystem. I may grab like, oh, you could also create advanced NFTs. And then finally, make sure that they know something about the fact that it's free to use. This seems like something I would mention in the first message, because it's certainly a strong selling point.
Those guys have no understanding of business. In the future, we will introduce advanced features which you can decide to pay for. We'll always be clear and transparent with how much these features will cost. Yeah, basically they have no idea on how to monetize their stuff. Anyway.
Okay, but those are the follow-ups here. We're going to be adding in, and as new companies come in,
sorry, I'm not going to work for them. Nah.
Look at that.
I reject
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. No, I mean, that's kind of it. Growth chat, more or less done. The hard work is going to be finding that list of companies hiring their first blockchain, but that's very feasible.
That's not that hard actually, because well, for those ones, yes, for the dev shops that have, you know, those blockchains, what you could do is search for Solana, Avalanche, whatever, as in LinkedIn.
I just have this
for the people, and then see what company they are going. Or you can do that, yes, on Clutch as well. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think you have multiple avenues to figure it out. It's not that difficult, especially people are so proud to put that on a forefront.
Technology,
it's so new, and
That's right. Okay, I mean, let's do a little review on the growth chat so far. I mean, what are your odds on the success of this campaign, knowing that it's a brand new company and in 10 minutes we kind of threw it together? You think it'll work?
What reply rate would you expect?
Well, besides the asking if they wanted to see a video or a doc, we're just kind of testing the waters if they're interested in offering the service, if this is maybe a better alternative to hiring a blockchain developer. So I think they're going to get a lot of feedback. I'm interested in how hot of a marketplace they've got for them.
Yeah. But that could be an approach, actually. This is not a bad idea, like the research approach. It's like, hey, we're putting this together. Right now it's free to use. The only thing we ask in exchange is feedback. We're going to provide some pro features in the future. But right now we'd like to get your feedback, especially if they're already a dev shop. But that's a hard play. That's really a hard play. That's really difficult.
Unless the feedback is super valuable. Maybe if the feedback, if it'll help your roadmap build something that it could be, Jeremy, that the founder may run this campaign for nothing other than getting the first couple of users in the door that are outside his network, so that they're going to get honest feedback. And if you can't get somebody to try it out for free and give you, good feedback after hand picking the people you're going to invite to this, you're probably barking up the wrong tree. Something's wrong. So
right, you heard
this will be great for learning.
Any money, and then you're doing something wrong and you're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, sort of. What I mean, that's a Derek Sivers takeaway. He's always said, people are always saying business is difficult. You got to keep pitching. But he's like, I've found that as long as you're comfortable iterating through a bunch of crappy ideas, when you land on a good one, it'll do all the work for you. And with that, if you're curious about more being able to set up your own campaigns, check out course.quickmail.io.
Yeah.
It's the follow-up conversation. If you've made it this far in the podcast, I know you're going to love the course. Check it out. You could try it risk-free. And if it's not exactly what you needed to take your campaigns, your business to the next level, you get your money back. It's a win-win. Check it out. See Jeremy and I inside. That's it.
Yeah. Course.quickmail.io.
Alrighty.
All right.
Cool growth chat.
Thanks, Jack. Awesome.
You bet. So cool. See you next time. Later.